So this was the CIA's rendition, detention, and interrogation program, a widespread and unlawful program in which men were detained and abused around the world, and in which the legal and medical branches of our government were completely complicit in allowing it to happen. Project Medication was a previously undisclosed element of this program in which, in addition to the physical and psychological torture that the CIA was engaged in, several CIA doctors decided to try to figure out whether they could also find some kind of truth serum that they would use against people's will to inject them with and make them talk. Sure. So for years in the early and mid 20th century, both the CIA and the Soviet intelligence services were experimenting to try to find truth serums. So the CIA would apply LSD to people without them knowing about it. They would inject people with barbiturates without them knowing about it. And the same sort of thing was happening in the Soviet bloc. And when the public found out about this in Senate hearings in the 70s, there was a tremendous blowback against the CIA. And the CIA vowed to never do it again. And all these prohibitions were placed. Just 30 years later, the CIA was considering it again, and in a very twisted way, some of the medical professionals convinced themselves that if they found a truth serum, then maybe they could stop torturing people. So instead, they'd just be injecting them with drugs against their will. And the ethical obligations of doctors are very clear, that they are not allowed and not permitted to participate in torture, even if their only role is to help keep the torture from becoming too extreme or help keep the detainee alive so that the torture can continue. That is not an ethical option for doctors. And these bright line rules exist specifically to prevent these sort of line drawing problems where you ask, well, if they're not actually laying hands on the prisoner, are they complicit?